Hey everybody, this is my persuasive speech. I'm just going to go ahead and get started. Alright, everyone, I want you to think back to when you were a kid, maybe, 5 or 6. You just woke up, Saturday morning. What did your morning usually consist of? For me, right when I get up, I get a bowl of cereal, I go down to the table, and I watch cartoons. Now, that might not be the same for everyone, obviously, but I remember some of the original content, some of the jokes. Please excuse my dog. Some of the just original and creative content that these cartoons had. Like the obscure horror of Courage the Cowardly Dog, or the unique dark comedy of Ren and Stimpy, or just some of the social lessons that SpongeBob SquarePants taught me, and yes, they were valuable. For me as a kid, anyway. Now, to begin, so my thesis is cartoons from the 1990s and early 2000s are superior to modern-day cartoons for 3 reasons. Number 1, cartoons from this time were more intelligent. Number 2, they appealed to adults as well as children. They weren't afraid to be creative and take risks and be original. The writers, more that is. Alright, now to begin with my first point. Cartoons were more intelligent from back then. These are some of the lessons that SpongeBob SquarePants featured in their episodes and aired to children. Sandy, when she was in hibernation, she turns into a vicious monster whenever you go near her. Obviously, she's a wild animal. They're trying to say, don't go near wild animals. Another example, don't make fun of your friends. SpongeBob, in one of his episodes, makes fun of his friend Sandy, and it makes other people laugh. So other people are laughing at Sandy's expense. It upsets her. She expresses that she's upset at SpongeBob in a different way than most would. She beats him up. But it gets the same message across, that don't make fun of your friends because it doesn't make them feel good. And another one is don't go places you're unfamiliar with that you don't know of whenever they go to Rock Bottom. It's a horrible place. They don't know what to do. It's not a good area. It's like a ghetto, kind of. And Ashley Colombo makes a great point with this same kind of thing. She's a university professor at Pacific, and she discusses how early Powerpuff Girls episodes, one of the episodes featured topics of women empowerment and how genders are equal in every way. And they shut down the show, they stopped it, and they rebooted it recently. And a recent episode featured the Powerpuff Girls dancing on 5 minutes on end. Or it featured them twerking, with a panda for 5 minutes, no cuts. Just them twerking with a panda. What intelligent ideas can I get from that? It's kind of dumb. And many people say that many modern cartoon activists will say cartoons are meant to entertain, not educate. Yeah, now they are meant to entertain, not educate. Back then, though, yeah, they taught us something, cartoons did. And they only think that way because modern cartoons, all they do is entertain. There's no educational value whatsoever. Now for my second point, in addition, cartoons appeal to more people. Now, Stephen Hillenburg in 2004 discussed that he wanted to think that his cartoons were funny and his kid as well. He wanted it to be funny for both adults and children because he knew that parents are usually present when children watch TV. And, for example, with adult humor, like when SpongeBob, in one of his episodes, he picks up a couple bars of soaps and he goes to balloons and he winks over at his friend and goes, "Don't drop them," making like a "don't drop the soap" kind of joke. That's not a kid's joke. There's things like that throughout all kinds of cartoons back then, and they wanted to be funny both to adults and kids, so they did stuff like that, and I think that's really creative of them. And for my third point, cartoons from back in these times were completely creative, completely original, and they took risks to do so. For example, again, Courage the Cowardly Dog. There has been no show since that show, that has scared me the way that show has. And that's original. Nothing's done that since. No one did before it either. The creator of that show, John R. Dilworth, in a 2004 interview, was asked, "Did you get any parent feedback saying it was too scary and that you should tone it down?" And he said, "Yes, I absolutely did get feedback. I got thousands of emails from parents, and they were all grateful." And he compares that to nowadays. He discusses that shows. He discusses that cartoons and their networks that they're on. The critics have so much power because if they say they don't like an episode, it goes right back to the creators, gives them bad feedback, or it gives them they have a harder time airing their episodes. The creators, the critics have so much power that it really affects what the writers produce and put on camera, put on the air. It's not what they want. It's not original. It's what the critics want to see, but not what the writers want to show. This matters because you're exercising your freedom of expression by putting what you want on these cartoons. You're being you. You're expressing what you are. And with critics not being able to do that by just doing what critics want to see, that's kind of a violation of freedom of expression, in my opinion. Now, cartoons from the 90s and 2000s are superior to modern-day cartoons because they were more intelligent, they appealed to adults as well as children, they were not afraid to be creative. Now, this is relevant to all of you because if you know any young child that wants to watch a cartoon, they are not going to be as better off as we were. We had superior cartoons that were good, that taught us stuff, that taught us actual valuable information, that our parents liked, that were original. The children today are not going to have as well off. And I have a news analyst here, a quote from her saying that cartoons do affect a child's behavior. Infants aged 18 months and older begin to take short-term interest in television. However, after 30 months, they might be called active viewers. They gain the ability to imitate behavior and events they come across every day. So we can surely affirm that colorful characters from innocent cartoons might turn into role models that impact the child's psychological state. So, it matters that these cartoons aren't as good as they used to be. They will affect a child's behavior. Now, I'm currently undergoing voice lessons, and I'd actually like to be a voice actor for cartoons in the future, so that's kind of why I'm so interested in all this. And I hope you all enjoyed. Sorry this was so long.